Hey mates, here we are again. I'm pretty sad because my recording program showed me that we would have recorded 1 hour and 11 minutes 40 seconds, and I was really happy saying, okay, hey, the complete video worked. I did all of my content I wanted to do, so let's upload the video. And then when I uploaded the video and tried to give you downside the time points where you can jump to all of the ages, I recognized that only 50 or 8 minutes were recorded. So the complete last 13-14 minutes even were completely erased from the recording program, so we have a little lag. Half of the global age researches and the complete atomic ages are not done, so I will only do this video now as a completion or whatever, adding to the previous video. So we will just go on where I was where the fucking recording program erased my former researches or my former content. I think it was probably about warfare, and I announced that warfare is, in my opinion, the most subjective research you can do at the stage 8 library. So at the first library stage you can upgrade in the global age, because we have pretty strong researches over here, but they are all subjective due to the fact that not very many players I recognized are playing these factory guides. And so it's an offense research, you see, because it's a red book and connected to another red book, so you ordinarily would have to pay food costs, but it's about our factories, so I'm very sure you have to pay oil. And very often, or in most cases, if you are not using the factory troops, you can spend your oil much more effective and better in other researches if you are not playing. But let's get through it. Chapter 1, plus 25% machine gun damage against defenders. It's pretty strong. Chapter 2, Bazooka receives 50% less damage from enemy tanks. Bazookas are very strong against enemy walls, tanks and buildings and so on. The tanks are even getting weakened against these bazookas. So the bazookas getting really overpowered against enemy tanks, so especially at enemy bases where they are using strong Acropolis depot constellations. I think this chapter might be a major interest. Chapter 3, heavy tank MK2 attacks 15% faster. Again, like I told you in the last video, we have over here a multiplication. We have two factors which are getting multiplied, the cadence of a troop and the basic damage, and we are increasing the cadence. If you are increasing one of the factors of the multiplication, the end result also will get higher, and so the total damage will increase when you increase the attack speed or cadence otherwise. Chapter 4, reduces saboteur troop space by 2. Ordinary or further, no, for informer times, the saboteur cost about 15 troop space, but I think the Nexon has recognized that no one wanted to play him, and so they decreased it with the last update to 10 troop space, and now with this research you can even decrease it more to only 8 troop space. Probably it gets interesting through that again. I will definitely try it out. Chapter 5, also very strong, again boosting our already really strong bazookas 10% more attack. I will definitely try them out in the global age, see what they can. There we will go on, and the second stage of the global age, so stage 9 of our library is now coming, and at stage 9 of the library I have definitely made out for myself the deception as most interesting. Deception's chapter is all about our traps. You can see plus 10% additional spike traps, so if you have upgraded landmine damage, and I don't know why spike traps is mentioned over here, because I don't have any spike traps at all. I only have landmines, so it don't seems like it will adapt to your stage of research, but it will definitely mean this kind of traps which are changing by the ages. Chapter 2, Caltrops slow attackers by additional 5% down. Wow, that's really strong. I'm a really huge fan of barbed wire. Like you probably know, my industrial barbed wire already is slowing down by 50%. So when I upgrade it in the global age, it will get 55%. And when you then do this fucking research, you have about 60% slowing down and reducing damage, which is just insane. That's really insane. But now let's think about, if you have to ordinary upgrade your barbed wire, it costs you about 1.5 million gold, 1 citizen, and I don't know, 8-9 days probably. And you have to do this 7-8 days. I don't know how many barbed wires you have. And so it's pretty much costing very much of oil, very much of time and of citizens. But if you are now just simply going to your deception chapter and researching this one, you only have to do about, I think, 3-4 days, spending a little bit of it's a defensive research, I think, a little bit of gold, and then you will just simply get for all of your barbed wires additional 5%. So very smart to research over here. Chapter 3, one more ambusher. What? what a freaky funny word, ambusher. Okay, one ambusher. One more ambusher from your ambush traps. If you have upgraded to the industrial age already, you have already 4 ambushers. Wow, 4 ambushers in your ambush traps. Then you get a 5th, last time, a 5th ambusher. Chapter 4, plus 10% SAM battery damage. Like you probably know, SAM battery was an air defense trap which got implemented with one of the last upgrades. You have 2 of them in the global age and can upgrade them. Here you get a 3rd one and even 10% more damage. Very powerful, especially for active or even World War players. Then, second most interesting, I marked for myself the Spoils of War. It is affecting our war chest, or our chest you can receive by being active as the multiplayer, and you can just increase the 10% victory chest resource rewards. So the rewards you are getting by earning some stars in the multiplayer, it's some kind similar to our dock, where every 24 hours is getting a boat, but the battle chest you have quite over here is not getting automatically by you, because you can influence it by being active and get them. So what's another over here? Chapter 2 reduces victory chest cooldown by 2 hours, and chapter 4 the same. So in total you can reduce it from 24 to 20 hours in total. Chapter 3, plus 1 victory chest trade good rewards. That's pretty interesting for me, I think, because I'm more focused for the trade goods than for the resources, which are pretty low you are getting. Chapter 5 reduces victory chest star requirement by 3. For ordinary players, this is that has no sense to research, I think, because it doesn't matter whether you have to do 15 stars now or 12 stars. But if you are now at 2000 or even 2400 medals, where you can do only a few attacks because your army will crash nearly all time, and you don't have the possibility to do simple no matter 20 attacks, 40 attacks, then it could be some kind of mention and some kind of interesting to reduce the amount of stars to get some trade goods. So in total, Spoils of War, pretty interesting. Then you have the shipping and the high explosives. Both, I think, can be very interesting, but again, highly subjective due to the fact whether you are even using them. Let's start with the shipping first. Shipping, we have only some effects which are done to our dock. Chapter 1, plus 10% expedition resource rewards, which means when your dock, when your pretty fucking ship is coming back, let's see, and you get some resources which are very low. I can't see currently, I only have some blessings and trade goods, but I think you are getting very low resources only, but you can increase them by 10%. Not worth at all to research, but you have to get to the other chapters to research the first thing. Chapter 2, plus 1 trade good reward from the Liga boat. And that's pretty cool, because the higher you are in your league, the more trade goods it brings you, but nevertheless you can increase it by 1. Chapter 3, league boat arrives 1 hour sooner, which means it should get at 23 hours back, not at 24 hours. Also pretty okay. Chapter 4, plus 10% league oil battle rewards. This is about the multiplayer. I'm pretty sure if you are going to the multiplayer and attacking someone, and if you are winning, you are getting at least 1 up to 5 stars, you have won the battle in per definition, and then you will get your league bonus reward. And the league bonus reward is depending on your league. And you see, the higher you are in league, the higher are the resources you are getting. And if you are getting to 2000 medals, which are perfectly over here, you entering kingdom league, and from that on upwards you will get pretty interesting league bonuses, such as 40,000 per battle, later on 125,000 at least. I think you can get even 320,000 only per battle. And if you increase that, if you increase that, no, where have we been? Shipping, I think. Oh, I think I have hit at the wrong. We were at shipping, right? General bonus. Yeah, we were at the wrong research. Sorry, guys. we are talking about shipment, so completely forgot. I think I got to this research, internationalism. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. So we are talking about shipment. First chapter, 10% expedition resource rewards, which means, yes, that you get more resources when your expedition returns, but they are really low, so I'm not interested in all to increase them. Chapter 2, 1 more expedition trade code rewards, this is pretty cool. Expedition returns 10% faster. Here, chapter 3 is the most interesting thing, because if you have upgraded your dock very fairly or to very high ages, industrial or even higher, the expeditions will last 4, 5, 6, some probably even 7 or 8 days. I don't know, I am not in the global age. And then if you can reduce it by 10%, the higher the amount of days is, the more you will save. Chapter 4, plus 10% general bonus rewards. Yeah, I don't care about. I don't send any generals with them. So chapter 4 is pretty uninteresting for me. Chapter 5, expeditions require 1 less citizen. That is very interesting, because instead of 4 or even 5 citizens, you only have to invest 1 less citizen. So guys, 10 minutes done already, and now we are coming second time to the atomic age. But because my shitty recording program crashed the last recording, I could only present it to you right now. So atomic age researches over here, I have marked 2 pretty interesting researches, the radar and the monuments chapter, but I decided to make the radar chapter the most interesting one due to one pretty interesting fact, and this fact, or important fact, and this fact is that the radar research is not depending on any factor. It's just interesting for anyone, no matter whether you are inactive, active, high medal league, low medal league, World War participant, no World War participant. It will always give you some very good advantages. The monument research instead is only highly recommendable for you if you are in World War. Therefore, we'll start with the, in my opinion, most interesting research, the radar chapter, and here you can get some kind of oppositional usage of your road. In former times, you could research that every connected building through the road with your town center increases the town center hit points. So it will give a boost to the town center. Now, this research works quite other way around. Now we are giving the boost by connecting to the town center to the buildings itself. And here you can see towers, mortars, redoubts, so machine guns, anti-tank guns, air defenses. These are merely all of our defensive buildings we have, except for all of our shooting defensive buildings, except for the castle and the sniper towers. So the pretty most interesting defensive buildings we have over here, and you can now, hold on, you can increase their damage by 15%. Sorry that I have to say it so clearly, but it's so insane overpowered, I don't know why. Even 10% would be really ridiculous. Let's only make an example. Let's remember I have some blessings active, so my mortar is already boosted, but we have 144 attack points. I have done a couple of researches in the university, as well as some blessings active. So ordinary it would be about, I don't know, 120 damage, 114 damage, and you will increase it by only 10%. So the increase you will get, and the increase which I am getting to the global age, is pretty high. In other ages it is pretty lower, so you will only get about 10% additional damage if you increase the mortar by upgrading. And upgrading costs you very much of resources, much of time, and many citizens, and you have to do every upgrade after another. So it's pretty much cost intensive as well as time duration intensive, whatever. And if you but in this radar chapter, you can simply do it by one research. One research, all towers upgraded if you have connected to the town center. One research, all mortars upgraded. Similar to them, hope you know what I mean. And even not only 10, but 15%. So that's why it's so OP. But I'm really hyped through this chapter. I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of my most anticipated chapters ever to research. But nevertheless, guys, I think it's very strong. I already have created some base layouts because we have one rushed Atomic Age player now, and so I wanted to try out, and I even was able to evolve my ordinary base layout over here to get all of the mentioned defensive buildings connected for an Atomic Age player. So I'm really looking forward to see how this base layout, this upgraded atomic base layout of my current one, will work. Radar chapter, my most anticipated one from the Atomic Age. Then let's go to the monuments research. First I looked at it and saw, okay, world wonders, increase. And then I read about what? hit points increase? What a fucking shit, I thought first. And then I looked at the World Runners and said, why should I increase the health points? And then I ignored the chapter. But later on, I got back and thought there must be something interesting. And then I saw, okay, these are all World Wonders. And then I remembered, hey guys, instead of the Colosseum, we also can take the Forbidden City. And now I thought, wow, really crazy, because you probably know in World War it's a pretty common tactic if you have two strong base layouts, where the base layout is too good and the spread out from Forbidden City and the ordinary town center is quite too good, that it's an ordinary usage or an ordinary strategy for many players, especially Koreans, with one more tactic, to demolish the Forbidden City, easy by using demolition. And that's not that easy doable if you have researched the monuments research. I'm not pretty sure anymore whether the Forbidden City is the Bronze Age or even Classical Age wonder. I think it's even the Bronze Age wonder, but nevertheless it is chapter 1 or chapter 2, so you don't have to at all research chapter 3, 4 and 5, because you only increase Gunpowder, Industrial Age and Atomic Age wonders and their hit points, and I'm not pretty sure why you should do this. I think in total you can research chapter 1 and 2 if you have a Forbidden City, then you can head on for some other researches you are interested, and then if you don't have to do anything else, you can also go for the other researches, because every hit point you have at your base makes it an enemy harder to get 100%. So monuments research also pretty interesting for players with Forbidden Cities. Then we have the computing and the elite paratroopers chapter, and both are okay, but not very good in my opinion. The Elite Paratroop chapter even could be better, but only if you are using the transporter from the Global Age. Let's see computing. First, you see reduces the food cost of university skill by 5%. Chapter 3 again by 5%. Chapter 2 gold by 5. Chapter 4 gold by 5. Chapter 5 oil by 10. So in total you can, if you have researched everything, increase or decrease the costs for food, gold and oil of your university skills, all one by 10%. And in total, I think it's pretty senseless, because the most painful factor about the university is the amount of citizens and the time you have to spend in the university. Why couldn't they decrease that? So I think the computing is quite not interesting. The only thing that could be interesting is the last chapter, because there are also some oil research, such as the heavy tank damage you could do, and therefore it could be useful to decrease the amount of resources even. But in total, I think decreasing the amount of time or of citizens would be way better. Therefore, I think the computing chapter is way less interesting than ordinary anticipated. And then we have the Elite Paratroopers chapter, which is only interesting to guys who are playing the transport, and so the paratroopers. Here you see chapter 1 increases the transport MK1 hit points by 10%, so only the aircraft getting increased. Chapter 2 reduces transporter MK1 deployment cooldown by 1 second. We can, at chapter 5, another research another 2 seconds, so in total 3 seconds. I'm not pretty sure, but I think the deployment time or the cooldown between the deployments of a transporter are about 45 seconds, so you could decrease them to 42 seconds. Yeah, it's quite okay. Chapter 3 and 4 are about paratroopers attacks and hit points itself to increase. These guys are very durable and pretty strong. So if you are playing or want to try them, definitely worth to try to research. Guys, we are finally through. This is the second part of my already video. Now I can just say goodbye to you in a good way. In a good way, I put really much effort in this video. I researched, like you probably have heard, about 3 hours gathering all of this information. I wrote down more than 2 pages more than 2 pages down for you, and so I would really appreciate if you would share, if you would link, and even give the information or the video further to your friends, so that most people as possible see my video. So that in total my effort was not completely worthless. Guys, hopefully you were quite amazed and interested. There were some informations which were quite new to you in this video. We see us soon. Your domination tips.